Web browser is a information on the World Wide Web, which means that you are typing something like in the Google Chrome, you are typing gmail.com, which means that that itself is a request to the Gmail server. So once you send a request, the web server processes the request and returns the response. What is a response? That response is the page of that Gmail. Such that you can type the login and password, right? So that is a response. Again, that response will be shown to you through the web browser. So it acts an interface between you and the main server. So there are so many popular web browsers available, which is Google Chrome, Firefox, UC Browser, Opera, etc. But I think nowadays most of us use the Google Chrome. And web servers. Again, web server is a computer that runs the website. Websites are also created with the help of web pages. So website can be called as a group of web pages, right? So web pages are actually written with the help of some program, and this program has to be run in somewhere, right? So web servers are the computers where the code of this websites run. The basic object of the web server is to store, process, and deliver the web pages to the users. So web server and the client communicate with the help of HTTP protocol, and the web server requests the requested page to the client. Just like what I said, when you type gmail.com, the web server will give you the Gmail's homepage first, and if that response is not processed, or if any problem happens in the processing, they will give you the response code, like if it is not found, error 404, page not found, etc., etc. Now coming to web hosting, this terminology means that it is a service that allows the individual. See, when we create a website, or we create the program for this website, we wrote some web scripts and we have some group of web pages, and I have made a website. Now how will others see my website? A process is there such that we have to register this website on the World Wide Web. This processing is known as actually web hosting. Okay, so this website is hosted on a special computer called web servers, and to host a website we need the domain name, web space, etc. So that will be taken care of when this process of web hosting take place. Now, without adding web scripting, a website is static, which means that we have to write some programs or some instructions in some programming language, such that we make the static web page a dynamic web page. Okay, so web scripting is done to make a static web page dynamic one, which means that it has to change according to the user's input. So again, this web scripting can be done at two spaces, that is two side, that is either at the client side or the server side. Client side scripting is done and executes on the web browser, not in the interaction with the web server. Actually, the client side scripts execute on the web browser. It is generally used for performing the actions which do not require the interaction with the server. For example, check field is empty. If you are not typing something and you just enter the enter key, so all these things has to be taken checked, right? So that happens in the client's web browser itself. Again, in the server side scripting, whatever happens inside the web server, we have so many codes inside the web server of that website. So what type of changes you want to be done there is done at the server side scripting. So popular server side scripting languages are ASP, JPHP, JSP, etc. Now come to the Web 2.0. It's a name used for describing the second generation of World Wide Web, where it moved the static HTML page to more interactive and dynamic web experience. So it can be considered as a version thing. So now Facebook, Wikipedia, Twitter, etc. are example of Web 2.0. And popular technologies used for implementing this Web 2.0 is Ajax, jQuery, Silverlight, Flash, etc. Now coming to the e-commerce thing, e-commerce, you know that when we purchase services online, we have to pay online, etc. So all these commercial system that happen through the online or electronic media is the e-commerce. So how do you pay for them? That is through e-commerce payment. So many e-com payment techniques are there. Cards, net banking, e-wallets, and mobile banking. So we'll see one by one. Credit cards are the payment done by providing your card number, expiry date, and CVN number. CVN is a card verification number. And also debit card is same thing, you have to give, but the card verification value have to be provided. So you hope you know the difference between credit card and debit card. Credit card is just like if you don't have, even you don't have the money, you can just send the you can expend or you can spend the money, but you have to pay the bill later. But in the case of debit card, you have to spend the money only if you have the money. That's the difference between debit card and credit card. And payment by net banking. Net banking is a facility for paying online from the bank account you have. So when already you should have a net banking activated in your mobile, in your bank account, and should have the username and password for that. All the time when you do a transaction, the bank will be sending you an OTP in the registered mobile, such that for security reasons. And coming to the mobile banking is a software provided by your bank, which it can work on your mobiles. So it's just like a small application provided by your bank. And UPI is another interface, transfer unified payment interface, which actually links the app to the account of through the mobile number. That means you have a bank account, you have the application on your mobile, and in the mobile, if you're having the same number which is registered on the bank, you can link to the bank through that application, and you can do money transactions through the application. So for that you should have that UPI. Now so many payment apps are available now: Paytm, PhonePe, Amazon, Google Pay, etc. So